Lakeside Dental Clinic, Go Island, is brought to you by Lakeside Dental Clinic.
We're checking in with Nanaimo Mayor Bill McKay today. There was the first full City Council meeting on Monday night, and it just so happens that it's also the last of 2014. Healing Headwear, turning first-hand experience into support for sick kids. Schnauzers, fun and feisty, and a brand new holiday edition of clock. A very steep learning curve, parking proposals from the Downtown Nanaimo Business Improvement Association, a proposed new council schedule, and some sentimental Christmas gestures all coming up through City Council recap in the next 30 minutes. But we're starting in Qualicum Beach today, where two teenagers who were struck by serious illnesses as children are using their creative talents to give back. Here's Annette Lucas. The first full City Council meeting took place on Monday, December 15th. About a half new council is accurate to say, and with the new council, a new mayor in the chair, a few hiccups along the way. How are people settling into their roles?
Oh, you can start to see it happening already. Last night was a wee bit awkward because you had one fellow away. He was in there by telephone. You had buttons and lights and weird things going on. It was fine though. At the end of the day, it was a great meeting, and it's interesting to see how people are starting to come into themselves.
How so? Give me an example.
Just the help that they give you. You know, new mayor, new councillors, and some of the veterans are really working hard to try to help the others.
Oh, good.
And I got to say, our new people, they're really smart.
I would imagine that at this stage in the game with the new people, just learning the process is a big part of the challenge right now, even before you can start getting down into some of the nitty-gritty work, sure, if we can call it that. How overwhelming is the process for new people coming in? Well,
if they've never attended a council meeting before, you know, on an ongoing basis, their learning curve is going to be huge. It's going to be very, very steep. So when we start rambling on about different things, we've got to realize that they've never heard that expression before. And what does that mean to them? Absolutely nothing. Gordon Fuller last night, at one point he said, okay, my head is just spinning right now. That's your cue to say to him off the record afterwards, do you need some help?
Mm-hmm. And there's that kind of support.
Absolutely.
Turning up with the council the way it is right now. Yeah. How do you feel leading and conducting these meetings? Are you coming into your own?
Well, when I figure out where all the buttons are, yeah, that'll be fine.
Don't press black on the camera, right?
That's right. I forgot to time somebody. I didn't know if he went 8 minutes or 18 minutes last night. But and then of course, Councillor Yoakum was there by telephone and trying to remember every time I have to count him into the votes. It was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of fun. Excellent.
Okay, we're going to come back. We're going to have conversations about a parking proposal from the Downtown Nanaimo Business Improvement Association and a proposed new schedule for City Council meetings themselves. We do all of that after a short break. Still to come today, looking at the Schnauzer breed with Nanaimo Kennel Club, and a holiday-themed edition of Clock has people dancing in the streets. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. We'll head inside in just a few minutes and rejoin Nanaimo Mayor Bill McKay in conversation recapping Monday night's City Council meeting. But right now it's time for something brand new here on Go Island. The Nanaimo Kennel Club is dedicated to making sure that people who are in the market for new dogs know what type of breed suits their lifestyle. So here now with a look at Schnauzers is Sandy Malcolm from the Nanaimo Kennel Club. The Kennel Club wants to remind you, in addition to being sure that you put some thought into picking the right breed of dog for your lifestyle, that working with a reputable breeder is also very important. Bill McKay coming off his first full City Council meeting as the new mayor of Nanaimo. One of the issues for discussion last night, on Monday night, was parking in the downtown core. What is the DNBIA proposing?
They're looking for us to extend the hours of free parking so that evenings and all weekends. are free, and I can't disagree with that. We've got some other revenue streams that we're looking at. We've got new meters coming in. They'll work predominantly during the Monday to Friday work hours. The rest of the time, parking will be free.
What are these new meters going to look like? Because I know we're a bit behind the times if you visit, Victoria or Vancouver.
Yes, we have to go to auctions to buy parts for the old meters. We have to go onto eBay to buy parts for the old meters. Yeah, it's these ones will be very different. I haven't actually seen the design of them, but they're going to be they're going to have some different features in there. Going to allow a lot more flexibility for our control people, our enforcement people to work with.
Why is parking such a sort of a controversial, if I can call it that, issue? I mean, it seems pretty straightforward, but it's not. It always gets people a bit agitated and excited. Why is that?
Well, parking and garbage seem to be the two things that get people most worked up. I remember my dad. He used to get so mad at the garbage man because he wouldn't take the garbage when the bottom of the can rotted.
That and mailman too. I've chased the mailman down the street. Take this letter.
Exactly. It seems to be this thing that we have in Canada. You go down to the States and you get into some of these different places. I remember being in Seattle one time and it was about $3.50 or $4 an hour. It was $35 a day on a surface lot outside. And our people are having trouble with a jump from 50 cents to $1.25. I find that a wee bit strange.
So I guess, parking is maybe perceived by some people as a right.
Yes.
In the downtown core, but it's also perceived as a revenue generator. And I guess the trick is just finding the balance between serving the people who want to bring business to the downtown core in this case, and those who need to make money to pay for the services.
What we've noticed in the past, and the reason why we're going to meters, is simply because people aren't moving. There are certain people that will move their car one spot, and then they'll move it back to the other spot, and they're staying there all day, and they're preventing other people from being there. So we have to deal with keeping the vehicles moving. Parking in downtown Nanaimo was so cheap; it's crazy that people would be doing those sorts of things, but they do. It's kind of like bridges, you put a toll on the bridge and they'll drive for miles around to avoid that toll.
Right.
And it's $3.
I'll drive all over town for a 50-cent can of corn, right?
Right, and what's that other expression, Councillor Fuller, what's that, the urban hunt? Right. Driving around and around and around Commercial Avenue, Terminal, over to Victoria to find just the right spot.
Right. Well, we can't all have a spot marked mayor, at the back of City Hall. Not yet. We're going to come back and talk about a proposed new schedule for City Council meetings after a short break. We all know that time and scheduling is a challenge in our busy lives. There was talk at Monday night City Council about changing the schedule of regular council meetings. What's behind that?
Well, in the past, what was happening was we were finding ourselves where we have lots of work to do at council meetings, and the following night there were RDN meetings, regional district meetings, and folks were just being absolutely overwhelmed with the amount of information they had to go through on a weekend. So we thought, let's let the RDN leave their meetings as they're currently scheduled. We'll alter our council meetings and then perhaps look at our committee of whole meetings where we would have, they would end up later in the week so that people got time to read and digest the information.
Now, I don't know if I've ever been clear on the difference between a committee of the whole meeting and a full city council meeting. Okay. Maybe you can clarify.
Committee of the whole is, the committee is the full council, but they're not permitted to pass bylaws. Okay. At those meetings.
But a lot still gets done.
Correct.
At those meetings.
Correct.
There's very important discussions and things brought up.
That's right.
Okay, one of the things that came up on Monday night was on more of a sentimental note. Nanaimo is working with some kids in regards to a Christmas Eve tradition that was started. Maybe you could tell me about that.
Well, it actually happens in Holten in the Netherlands, and every year since 1991 they have had, they put candles. 300 school children put candles on the graves of 1,355 soldiers that perished there when they were liberating the community. To recognize them, they have a ceremony every year with the candles. So last year, Kingston, Ontario, they actually sent a number of pins and Canadian lapel pins to the children, and they challenged us to do the same thing. Just a little token where a community in Canada every year will actually thank the school children for doing that and thank the community of Holten. It's a very, very touching ceremony. It happens at 4:30 in the afternoon on Christmas Eve, and generally about 1,500 people show up to give tribute to the Canadian soldiers.
Excellent. Nanaimo's now a part of that.
That's right. So we'll have to challenge another community to do it again next year.
Victoria, you're up. We are looking ahead to a new year as we say goodbye to 2014. Just quickly, any personal New Year's resolutions for you?
Yes, I'm going to become more fit.
Oh, just like the rest of us, Bill. Just like the rest of us.
Yes. I think I'm actually going to go get a bike, and I might start riding to work in the morning.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, you know you're accountable now.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's here. We'll bring it back up in February.
That's right.
And see how you're doing.
That's right.
Happy holidays.
Thank you very
so
much.
We're going to throw things over now to a holiday edition of Clocked that actually has some people dancing in the street. Yeah, a little bit of rubber banding going on there, but we'll forgive them. A pretty funny edition of Clocked as the boys race up and down Commercial Street looking for 6 of the 12 days of Christmas. And I think we just needed a few more lords a-leaping or some ladies dancing. Maybe they should have stopped in here at City Hall and see how Bill McKay's leaping techniques are. Maybe next time. That brings us to the end of this edition of Go Island. Thank you so much for watching. We have a couple more episodes left before the end of the year. You can always catch back episodes, of course, on our YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time.
Lakeside Dental Clinic Go Island is brought to you by Lakeside Dental Clinic, a division of the Vancouver Island Implant Centre, delivering dental services, including dental implants and sedation dentistry, all under one roof. Clothing supplied by Catwalk Fashions. Kate's Hair and Aesthetics provided by Maffeo Salon.